You're low on cash. Your bills are stacking up. Then, an offer appears. Get approved in minutes. No questions asked. It sounds like the solution you've been waiting for. But what if that personal loan isn't a lifeline? It's a leash? Behind the friendly ads and fast approvals lies a cycle of debt that millions fall into, quietly and legally. In this video, I'll show you exactly how personal loans really work, and more importantly, when saying no could save you thousands. What is a personal loan? A personal loan is money you borrow from a bank, credit union, or online lender, not for buying a house or car, but for almost anything else. It could be for emergency expenses, medical bills, a wedding, or even to pay off other debts. Unlike a home or auto loan, personal loans are usually unsecured, which means you don't need to offer any collateral. That makes them easier and faster to get, but also riskier for the lender, so they charge higher interest rates, especially if your credit score isn't great. You get the money up front as a lump sum, and then pay it back in fixed monthly payments over a set term, usually between 1 and 5 years. Sounds simple, right? But many people don't realize that these loans often come with origination fees, which reduce the amount you actually receive, and sometimes prepayment penalties, which charge you for paying the loan off early. So even though personal loans look clean and helpful, they can carry hidden costs that add up fast. That's why understanding the terms before borrowing is key, because the wrong loan can quietly turn a short-term fix into long-term debt. How personal loans actually work. On the surface, personal loans feel simple. Borrow money, repay it monthly, and you're done. But behind that simplicity is a system designed to maximize profit, not just help. When you take a personal loan, you're usually agreeing to fixed monthly payments for a set term, like 2 or 5 years. That payment includes your principal, the amount you borrowed, plus interest, which is how the lender earns money. The lower your credit score, the higher that interest rate, sometimes over 30%. And that's just the beginning. Most personal loans also include origination fees, often 1% to 8%, which get deducted before you even receive the money. So, a $10,000 loan with a 5% fee leaves you with $9,500, but you still owe the full $10,000 plus interest. Some loans have prepayment penalties, charging you extra if you try to pay it off early to avoid interest. One late payment, that triggers late fees and possibly damages your credit score. In short, personal loans are structured to look easy, but they're built to keep money flowing back to the lender. If you don't fully understand the math, you could end up paying far more than you borrowed, when personal loans actually make sense. Not all personal loans are bad. In fact, when used the right way, they can be a smart financial tool, especially if you have a clear purpose and a solid repayment plan. One of the most common and sensible reasons to take a personal loan is for debt consolidation. If you have multiple high-interest credit card balances, a personal loan with a lower interest rate can combine them into one monthly payment, making it easier to manage and cheaper in the long run. They also make sense during unexpected emergencies, like medical bills, urgent car repairs, or job loss, when you don't have savings and need fast cash to stay afloat. In such cases, a fixed loan with predictable payments is often safer than relying on revolving credit or payday loans. Some people also use personal loans to fund career growth, like paying for a certification or short course that increases their income potential. The key is making sure the loan has fair terms and that you're not borrowing more than you can repay comfortably. When used with caution and intention, a personal loan isn't a trap. It's a short-term bridge to long-term stability. When you should avoid personal loans. Personal loans might look easy and helpful, but there are situations where taking one can do more harm than good. The biggest red flag? Borrowing for things you don't truly need, like vacations, luxury shopping, or lifestyle upgrades. If the purchase won't generate income or solve an urgent problem, going into debt for it is almost always a mistake. You should also avoid personal loans when your income is unstable. If you're living paycheck to paycheck or your job situation is uncertain, adding a fixed monthly loan payment can increase stress and risk default. Missing just one payment can lead to late fees, damage your credit, and even put you in collections. Another danger zone, using one loan to pay off another without fixing the root problem, your spending habits. That's not solving debt, It's just reshuffling it, and it rarely ends well. Lastly, be very careful with loans that sound too good to be true. If an online lender promises instant approval, no credit check, and low rates all at once, be skeptical. These offers often hide fees, trap terms, or sky-high penalties. In short, if a loan doesn't solve a real need with a clear repayment plan, walk away. Smarter alternatives to personal loans. If you're thinking about taking a personal loan, pause, because there might be smarter, cheaper ways to get the help you need. One great option is turning to a credit union. Unlike big banks, credit unions are member-owned and often offer lower interest rates, fewer fees, and more flexible repayment terms, especially for people with average credit. If your goal is to pay off debt, look into balance transfer credit cards. These often come with 0% interest for the first 12 to 18 months, giving you time to pay down the balance without piling on more interest. Just make sure you understand the transfer fees and can repay within the promo period. Another overlooked option is a side income boost, a temporary freelance gig or skill-based service that can help you cover shortfalls without adding long-term debt. And don't underestimate the power of budget restructuring. Cutting unnecessary expenses and delaying non-urgent spending can often bridge a gap without borrowing at all. Personal loans aren't always the enemy, but they're not your only choice either. With a little research and patience, you might find a better, safer way to get through the financial storm without owing anyone a cent. Personal loans can feel like a lifeline, but if you don't fully understand how they work, they can quietly pull you deeper into debt. Today, you learned when to use them, when to avoid them, and what smarter options might exist. And that's the kind of clarity we bring on this channel, every single week. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. We break down money, credit, and financial traps, all in simple language that makes sense. Your financial freedom starts here.